Malole soifua. My name is Itziro Lafaile, co-founder and director of Fiber Fale. Welcome to today's session where we speak with the 2023 finalists of the High Tech Awards. The High Tech Awards is where we celebrate our tech companies on a global stage. These awards recognise companies and individuals who are taking the world and winning at it at the same time. So this comes from our startups all the way to our big tech companies. In this session, you will be blessed where we speak to our amazing finalists for the 2023 High Tech Awards as we come to count down for the gala dinner on the 23rd of June in Christchurch, where the winners get announced. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You should be excited because we have our beautiful finalists here today. So to start us off, we're going to start from here and would love to hear who you are, where you're from, and also what you do. Bless.
Thank you. So my name is Bex. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ZeroJet. And so we make high-performance EV powertrains for boats. Essentially, we're building the best EV powertrain in the world. And super stoked to be a finalist. We're scaling up really fast. We've made significant amount of progress in the last year, and feel very honored to be here today.
Oh, exciting. Bless.
Kia ora, I'm Paul. I'm from Easy Crypto. We're a business that helps people buy cryptocurrency all around the world, and I'm the current head of New Zealand for that business. So it's my role to just look after marketing and support and operations for the New Zealand operation.
Lovely. Please.
Hello, I'm Renee Jamison. I'm the head of marketing at Mint Innovation. I've been with Mint for about 3 years now. And Mint is a company that has developed a climate technology that basically uses a low carbon biotechnology to extract precious metals like gold and copper from electronic waste or PCB boards in particular. We're very excited to be a finalist in 2 categories actually for the High Tech Awards and looking forward to celebrating with other talented companies as well.
Awesome.
Kia ora, I'm Josh. I'm one of the co-founders of Tend. We're a healthcare service provider, and we're trying to reimagine what integrated healthcare looks like, both for consumers and also for the workforce. It's a really significant problem in New Zealand, and we're trying to make a dent in it. So, yeah.
Bless, don't we love dents, eh? It's amazing. It's so exciting. So we'll start off down on your end, because I think the big thing with a lot of our viewers is we always see that we have these beautiful finalists, but we'd love to know the journey. So I think we'll start off at the end and we'll go around. But our first question for today is, why did you enter these awards? Bless.
That's a great question. So for history with the High Tech Awards, I've been lucky to be a finalist a number of times in the past, and I think I've been to every awards dinner since 2009 when I came back to New Zealand.
Oh, lovely.
So, but we're kind of 2 years into having a product available in market, and what we're doing is really hard. We're getting technologists and operational people and marketers to work with doctors and nurses and clinicians on the front line, and we really want to celebrate some of our innovation and the work the team's done. And certainly in other companies that I've been in the past, it's been a really good opportunity to celebrate the work of the whole team and see it acknowledged. And so I really want to do that for the Tend team as well, now that we're kind of a couple of years down the line.
That's cool.
I think it's very similar to us as well. Like the team at Mint Innovation work really hard on some groundbreaking technology, and often you can get so caught up in what you're doing. It's nice to actually kind of come to the surface and actually celebrate. I think the High Tech Awards is a really good platform for celebrating innovative companies that are doing amazing things. So really nice to have that recognition for the team. It's a bit of a boost for them as well. And so being a finalist in 2 categories this year is really good recognition for them.
Interesting. So we fundamentally believe in the transformational potential that blockchains and crypto have for the world. And, if you look at everything that's happening, it's all kind of been digitized, and we just think that finance is the next big home run in that space. So that's us, and we've managed to build a platform that's pretty unique. It does things that a lot of the others don't do. And, we've been running now for 5 years. We've got several 100,000 customers and done over 2 billion in volume. And the Janine and her brother Alan, who founded it, just kind of said, we should tell our story loud and proud and kind of take it to the New Zealand stage a bit more. So that's kind of why we applied.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
We're on a little bit the opposite spectrum from you in terms of High Tech Awards visits. So we incorporated our company in 2015, and this is the first year that we entered. And we entered for two categories as well, so we're finalists in two categories, which we're really proud of. And I think for us, it's as Renee mentioned as well, it's easy to just get caught up in the day-to-day work that you're doing and not celebrate the little milestones along the way. We've definitely been guilty for that, and I think this is the first released a product into market. We've got boats all around the world, a team that's growing and passionate, and we really feel like we've hit that next level. And so we felt that this was the year that we should enter. And so super stoked to have made finalist in both categories that we entered.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's awesome.
Because when I was thinking about it, I could hear a theme of like, what's it called? Kind of celebrating yourselves. And my sister Julia, she always has the saying called, it's always important to put your flame up. So, from applying and even now being a finalist, why do you think it's important for not only you as a team, but also those that are watching to always celebrate your team and celebrate the small things, but also you as a company? Because I think that's important in culture. But would love to hear your vibes, because you're a finalist now, but would love to hear your thoughts about why it's important to really raise your flame up. Bless. We can start anywhere. I will start in the middle, brother, and then we can put it out.
That's me. Yeah, look, so echo some of that. Like you get so busy trying to do what we do, whether it's putting out fires or dealing with whatever. And so we wanted to bring our story to the market and have internally a moment where we kind of pumped our own tyres a bit. We do really hard stuff on a daily basis, 24/7, and it can feel never ending. And so getting reward and recognition was amazing internally. Externally, we're really proud of our brand. We know what we stand for, and people recognise that we're a trustworthy provider of what we do. And in this, for us being selected as finalists is great recognition for that as well. So those are, kind of the two big drivers for us. And then finally, it's just really humbling to be part of such a cool group of companies. And, you look at the list on the finalist list, and man, New Zealand's got some awesome stories to tell. And, we just wanted to tell ours as well. So that's kind of one of the other things that's going on for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
That's me next.
Yeah, anyone can add on. Love to hear your thoughts.
So I think it's also like that kind of storytelling piece, which is super important, especially when you're kind of trying to break new ground and you want to be able to elevate what you're doing so that you can encourage other companies to follow a similar journey to you. So this gives us a really nice platform to be able to do that and to share our journey and to encourage other New Zealand deep tech companies to keep persevering. There's lots of opportunity in this space, and like that nice moment to fly your flag and light your flame and celebrate the wins as well. I think it's also really really good from an employer brand boosting perspective. Like we are doing some pretty groundbreaking stuff, so it's nice to like everything seems to be quite forward thinking, and we want to try and encourage good talent to come into the business, and having that kind of recognition helps them want to come and work for a company like us that's solving real world problems.
Yeah, I know. Please.
I think for us, we're trying to make an impact in the world. So our vision is to eliminate the need for combustion engines on boats. And
That's awesome.
No, that's cool.
That's a great vision.
and I mean we're not going to do that overnight. We may not even do that entirely ourselves, but we want to be able to influence others and actually show people that there is a pathway to making electric boating awesome. And you don't only have to do it because it's sustainable. And so even a platform like this, just getting out onto that stage again and getting in front of other New Zealanders who are going to find out about ZeroJet and tell their friends. Like I would say so far today, we've been very focused on actually globally. So a lot of our boats have actually gone overseas, and there's not as many in New Zealand as we would even want. So being able to get up there and show the world that, ZeroJet is out there. And just help to change people's perceptions. That's incredible, and what you guys echoed as well. Just to be on the stage with the current year's finalists and also some of the alumni from previous years is a huge feeling. I'm very proud, and it's very humbling to be alongside some startups and names.
Awesome. What size drivetrains do you make? Like, what size boats can you?
At the moment, it's a 20 horsepower system,
Okay,
so
awesome.
it's sort of like 3 to 4 meter boats.
Yeah. Great.
But we're
It's like a
then
fishing
we'll
boat or
scale
whatever.
up
Yeah.
in size. Yeah.
Great. That's very cool.
That's cool. Bless. Well, because I'm looking at everything here, and I'd love to really give a spotlight to all of yous about the importance. So we'll start with the crypto. Would love about crypto. Would love to hear from you, also to the viewers. Why is crypto important? Because I think it's, while we hear that you're a finalist, we'd love to also hear your passion and also why there is a drive to what got you here. And then we'll do the rest for all of you, because we'd love to hear that too. Bless.
So in New Zealand, we're fortunate enough to have a pretty stable banking system that works. But for a lot of people around the world, that's not the case. And you're seeing it in Turkey, you're seeing it in Argentina at the moment. People's wealth is just disappearing at an alarming rate.
Maybe even in the US.
Maybe even in banks in the US. Thank you, Josh. And so one of the core foundations of crypto is that we become our bank. We can control where we send our money, and we have the power to do that. But then it also opens up investment opportunities to people who couldn't buy a house for whatever reason or whatever, and it gives the ability to generate as well is there, and for us that's a really transformative moment, and we really believe in that. We're seeing some of the use cases in domestically as well as internationally, where people are giving to charities that they couldn't normally do. Ukraine is a great example. A lot of crypto flowed in there at the early stages of the war, just stuff like that. And the ability for people to make their own decisions and do that is a really empowering thing, and that's one of the key tenets of crypto, and it's one of the things we're really passionate about.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's exciting. I need to get on there. Renee, we'll talk about your climate technology and sustainability. Tell us your passion. Why that has brought you to where you are, and also your amazing business, please.
Yeah, so I think firstly, electronic waste is one of the fastest growing waste streams in the world. If you look at all of the devices that we have, there's about 9 billion people in this world, and each person sort of averages having about 2.5 devices per person. And we so easily throw them away these days. I'm sure many of us have like old laptops and mobile phones that are just sitting in our kitchen drawers at home. If they make it to landfill, a lot of the metals that exist in electronic waste are actually quite toxic and harmful. And then if we can't get rid of it via landfill, we actually ship it overseas, and we try and get in some situations it can be quite a humanitarian issue if it does sort of sit in some of the developing nations. Interestingly, only a very small percentage of electronic waste is recycled. And so it does kind of go to landfill, or it does get shipped overseas, unfortunately. The way that's recycled at the moment is it's a very carbon intensive process. And so what we have developed is a very low carbon alternative to be able to process electronic waste. And what's even more amazing is that we have developed our technology to now be at commercial scale. So we've built our first, what we call a biorefinery in Sydney, and that can process up to 3,500 tonnes of electronic waste now that it's fully commissioned, which, to kind of put that into perspective, is about 25 to 30% of the total electronic waste that is accumulated in Australia every year. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good proof point. And so now that we've sort of proved out the technology at commercial scale, we are looking to see how we can deploy it really quickly so that we can really make a true difference in a dent, as you say, and one of the fastest growing waste streams.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing.
I got goosebumps.
Any interest in
Yeah.
a plant in New Zealand?
Yes, we do definitely have intentions here, but what's quite interesting is that New Zealand doesn't actually do a fantastic job of collecting electronic waste, and so we don't necessarily have the right amount of feedstock for us to be able to service. Australia was also kind of on our doorstep and has a lot of regulation around how they collect electronic waste and has done so for years, but definitely keen to see how we can make a difference in New Zealand as well. Yeah.
That's cool. Oh my gosh.
So do you need regulatory support to kind of try and improve that situation?
Well, we need to have the ability to be able to collect the electronic waste through local
structured
recycling.
way,
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh my gosh.
I'm just trying to get rid of a whole bunch of e-waste at the moment. So
Yeah, we often get quite a few inquiries about, hey, I've got my mum the other day actually was like, I've got all this electronic waste at work, can I come and bring it to you? I was like, well, not yet.
there's no way to put it.
Yeah.
Bless e-learning. Now, I've heard so much about this, but I'd love to hear your passion on it, about your business, but also your products in regarding e-learning.
healthcare.
Yeah, oh well, it just says e-learning and healthcare. There we go. Bless you.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Just hear us
So,
with
I mean, I think if you look at the newspaper or watch TV or whatever, you kind of hear stories pretty much every week about a healthcare system that is struggling with a whole bunch of different problems. And so Cecilia and James Robinson and myself and Mataruri Linda and the kind of 4 founders of Tend really wanted to make an impact in this. And I think there's 2 areas that we want to make an impact. One is that there's lots of people that work in health in New Zealand that work really, really hard. They do really hard mahi in very difficult circumstances. But at the same time, they're working with tools and technology and systems and processes that really haven't been rethought ever. And there's no real way to rethink them in a small business when you're trying to just deal with the next person that comes through the door.
Yeah.
My background is kind of building reasonably complex technology solutions. And Cecilia and James are really, really good at building kind of consumer products and operational systems and processes to support that. And we thought there was an opportunity to kind of bring some thinking from outside of the health sector into the health sector to try and change some aspects of how things are done. So we've been running about 2 years now, and we've got maybe 20,000 right now and working to expand throughout the rest of the country. But we're really very, very proud of the work our team is doing. We're really trying to find whole new ways of doing things. We're not changing the way that doctors and nurses do what they've been trained to do, but really all the support systems around them so that we can try and make their job easier. There's been very little effort over the last kind of 20 or 30 years in actually trying to genuinely make the job of providing healthcare easier. There's a lot of hard things about that, and some of those we can't change. You can't change the fact that you've got someone who's living in poverty and can't afford to feed their kids, and then as a result they have healthcare problems. But there's a lot of friction that's put onto healthcare workers that is completely unnecessary and is caused by a whole series of incentives within the system not being properly aligned, and so we really want to try and reimagine some of those incentives and systems and processes for our workforce and for our patients and customers.
That's cool. Oh my gosh. Life-changing. No wonder you're a finalist, eh? And last and not least, let's hear about you about ZeroJet. Would love to hear, well, you've already given us a bit of a teaspoon of it, but would love to hear more of your passion in between that with the business. Bless you.
Yeah. As I mentioned, we want to make a pretty big impact in the marine space, and I think what a lot of people don't realise is how disproportionately harmful combustion outboards are. Even a 4-stroke, which is much better than a 2-stroke, it still emits quite significant emissions compared to cars, because cars have catalytic converters and fancy exhaust systems, and there's just not space available for outboards. So although you don't use your boat as often as you use your car, it actually still makes quite a big impact. So we're pretty excited about the future ahead. I'd say the marine electric boating space is probably a decade behind what's happening on land. There's a lot of extra added technical challenge with going electric on water. But yeah, we've got an amazing team, and we've done the hard yards already and getting to where we are for our first system. Really excited about the next stages and what's ahead.
Oh my gosh, well, you've heard them about the passion. You've now known that they're finalists. I think our last remarks to our amazing viewers is, we'll go around the circle one more time, but also your advice on why they should apply for these awards, because you are a living testament of what that is, but would love to see more come into these awards. So we'll start from here and we'll end off to the brother at the end. Bless.
Sure. I definitely think it was a fantastic exercise to sit down and say, what have we actually done that's amazing? What you said, what was it, flying your own flame?
Yeah,
flying your own flame?
Yes.
You kind of don't realize it until you have to sit down and actually write it down on paper and go and talk to some of the team members as well about, what's unique about what we've built or what we've done. And then you put it all down, and it was like, I reread it back a few weeks later, and I was like, wow, we really did achieve so much. And I think when you're in the weeds of it, you don't often recognize that. And so, number one, that's why you should write an application and just get in there, and it'll also help you for future years when you're writing.
Cool.
Awesome. Sir Paul Callaghan did a speech about 10 years ago when he was just before he died, and he said basically New Zealand's got to do more than just export milk powder, and we actually got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on, and it's all in niches, which is really funky. And it's and until we as a nation start living these stories and hearing the great success stories and seeing what the challenges that other people are going to do, we're going to keep doing what we've always done. And so for me, apply, tell your story, lift everyone up with your passion, and you're going to set off other people's neurons and they're going to solve other problems, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to keep lifting.
That's true. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's like very similar. I don't know if I've got too much more to add, but it's about sort of igniting others to want to do more in this space too. We need to be more of a global export nation with some of the technology that we develop, and so this is really an opportunity to celebrate how much we've progressed in the technology and innovation sector, but also an opportunity to encourage others to do so as well.
Please.
That's good. I mean, I think for me, I've chosen to work in startups for a big chunk of my career, and I think when you're in the middle of it, it's really hard work, and you tend to just feel like you're running from one crisis to the next, or into one crisis to the next, or bouncing off them, or whatever you want to think about. But I really like the High Tech Awards because it's a chance to kind of come together with the whole community, the whole ecosystem, and kind of lift your head up and look around a little bit and kind of go, wow, there's some amazing stuff happening out there. People are doing great work. And I think one thing that New Zealand has done really well is it's kind of fostered an innovation ecosystem of quite small businesses, but it's really important for everyone to be able to kind of go and look, okay, what's my next milestone? What's my next goal? Who do I want to be in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time from a business perspective or from a professional development experience? And I think the High Tech Awards gives you a chance to kind of be in a room with a whole bunch of people for one night and kind of get a little bit of energy out of that kind of you can take to kind of carry you through some of the dark days that are almost certainly ahead.
Yes. Well, you've heard it here. These are your amazing finalists for the 2023 High Tech Awards. This can be you next year, so make sure you apply for the awards next year. We hope we get to see you and also all of yous on the 23rd of June. Well, that's the end of today's amazing session. We look forward to seeing you soon. Ka kite anō, and we'll catch you later. Bye! Yeah.